evening. We must not allow other people's limited perceptions to define us, by Virginia Satir. Welcome to BMC English News Live. Myself, Marina Francis, joining you with the news updates. Today's news in detail. First of its kind approval for booster vaccination following Sputnik V inoculation. Following approval by the Clinical Trials Committee, the National Medical Task Force for Combating the Coronavirus announced formal authorization of Sputnik V as a booster shot for those aged 18 years and over, 6 months after receiving their second dose of the Sputnik V vaccine. The authorization of the Sputnik V booster shot is the first of its kind globally for individuals who have received the Sputnik V vaccine. The decision was taken in line with the latest COVID-19 developments and international best practices reviewed by the Ministry of Health's Vaccination Committee in coordination with the Gamaleya National Research Center of Epidemiology and Microbiology and Ministry of Health of the Russian Federation. Eligible individuals in Bahrain can register for a booster shot by visiting the Ministry of Health's website on healthalert.gov.bh or via the Be Aware application. Digitization in full swing, says Bahrain Education Minister. The Education Ministry is pressing ahead with its digital empowerment plans in line with the Future Schools project of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. Dr. Majid bin Ali Al Nuaimi, the Minister of Education, said, efforts to integrate information technology into education had resulted in Bahrain advancing on the international indicators in line with the Vision 2030, the minister said during a media briefing by the National Liaison Center at the ministry. Yusuf Al-Bun Khalil, the executive head of the National Communications Center, was present at the meeting on the preparations for the new school year 2021-22. Addressing the meeting, Dr. Al-Nuaimi said the Education Ministry's portal recorded 68 million visits by students to access various educational services. On the traffic light system, the minister said 100% attendance is allowed at the green level. Students should keep 0.5 meters of distance between them at this level. Whether to return to in-person classes or not is left to the discretion of guardians. In the red level, all classes will move to remote learning. 30% attendance is allowed at orange level and 50% at yellow level. The minimum distance for social distancing is 1 meter. In-person attendance of education and administrative staff are left for schools to manage as they deem appropriate. The minister said the new textbooks focus on modern-day skills, artificial intelligence, creativity, innovation, problem-solving, critical and analytical thinking. To achieve sustainable development goals, 15 new books and 6 digital books are developed. The ministry is also developing 25 books and 9 digital books. Teams to arrive for Bahrain International Music Festival. Teams for the 30th Bahrain International Music Festival are to arrive in the kingdom later this month. The dates are according to a tender document launched by the Bahrain Authority for Culture and Antiquities. The tender calls on interested agencies to make bids for booking tickets for the participating teams. Accordingly, participating teams for the festival start arriving in Bahrain by the last week of this month. Teams are to reach Bahrain from the 26th of this month. The festival ends on the 16th of the next month. Launched in 1992, Bahrain International Music Festival returns every year as part of the celebrations for International Music Day. The festival, which merges diverse cultures and heritages from around the world, takes place at various cultural sites of the kingdom. The festival, now in its 30th consecutive year, is part of the year-long celebrations on the theme of Pearling Path. Customs President says waiting period for loaded trucks coming to Bahrain reduced to 52 minutes. Customs President Sheikh Ahmed bin Hamad Al Khalifa today announced a milestone of the Customs Affairs, which reduced the average waiting period for loaded trucks coming to Bahrain to 52 minutes in the first half of August, compared with 757 minutes in the previous years. This was highlighted in the performance indicators of the King Fahd Causeway. He highlighted various steps the Customs Affairs took in recent years, including signing agreements with supervisory bodies to achieve the best results of reducing the average of the waiting periods of trucks on the causeway. Those steps resulted in a gradual drop from 2014, reaching the target waiting period in 2021. He said that the achievement was part of joint efforts, hailing the role of importers, traders and custom clearance agents while cooperating with the customs affairs. Fresh proposal for green roofs. Bahrain's shopping centers, complexes and malls could be obliged to have gardens on their rooftop. Parliament's Public Utilities and Environment Affairs Committee Chairman Mohammed Buhamud said the proposal was part of efforts to provide mall visitors with a green experience. Bahrain's daily COVID positivity rate is at 0.6%. Out of 16,406 COVID-19 tests carried out yesterday in Bahrain, 98 new cases have been detected among 47 expatriate workers. 35 new cases are contacts of active cases and 16 travel-related. There were 84 recoveries from COVID-19, no fatalities due to COVID-19 in Bahrain yesterday. Also, people thank the country's leadership as they enjoy relaxed COVID restrictions. People in Bahrain took to social media to thank the country's leadership as they enjoyed relaxed COVID restrictions yesterday. Parents particularly counted their blessings as they could take their children to buy stationery ahead of a new school year starting from Tuesday. Meanwhile, there is a sharp increase in travel-linked cases. Bahrain has witnessed a sharp increase in the number of travel-related cases of coronavirus in the past 6 months compared with the same period before, revealed Health Ministry statistics. From July 22 to September 1st, the country recorded 689 cases among the people who travelled, accounting for 15% of the total. Now, we shall be back after a very short break. Welcome back. UAE Rashid rover moon landing site revealed. A primary landing site has been chosen for the Emirates lunar mission, the Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center revealed on Saturday. The Arab world's first lunar mission, the Rashid rover, would land at Lacus Somniorum, also known as the Lake of Dreams, an area as yet unexplored. The 3 backup landing locations have also been identified. Located on the northeastern side of the moon, Lacus Somniorum is characterized by its unique composition formed by flows of basaltic lava, which gives it a reddish hue. The Emirates lunar mission is one of the initiatives under the Mars 2117 program, which aims to build a human colony on Mars. US to invest $3 billion in COVID-19 vaccine supply chain, White House official says. The US plans to invest $3 billion in the vaccine supply chain as it continues to work to position the United States as a leading supplier of vaccines for the world, a top US health official said on Thursday. The funding, which will begin to be distributed in the coming weeks, will focus on manufacturers of the inputs used in COVID-19 vaccine production as well as facilities that fill and package vaccine vials, White House COVID advisor Jeffrey Zients said during a news conference. Philippines to lift travel ban on 10 countries. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte is lifting a coronavirus ban on travelers from 10 countries, including India, the United Arab Emirates, and Indonesia, the presidential spokesperson said on Saturday. The ban, introduced in April, then expanded to more countries in July to prevent the spread of the more contagious Delta variant, will be lifted on Monday, presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said in a statement. Travelers from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, UAE, Oman, Thailand, Malaysia and Indonesia will have to spend 14 days in quarantine upon arrival, Roque said. US President Biden visits New Orleans in wake of Hurricane Ida. The US President Joe Biden visited New Orleans on Friday to underscore his administration's support for people in the region in the wake of Hurricane Ida. We are in this together, and so we are not going to leave any community behind, rural, city, coastal or inland. And I promise we are going to have your backs until this gets done, Biden said at an emergency operations center in LaPlace, Louisiana. At least 13 people have died as a result of the hurricane in Louisiana and the neighboring state of Mississippi. According to the White House, 800,000 households in the region still have no electricity. The devastating storm in the northeastern United States in the aftermath of Hurricane Ida killed at least 48 people, most of them in New York City and in the neighboring state of New Jersey. Dozens of people evacuated after fire breaks out in Turin city center. Firefighters and rescue crews evacuated dozens of people in the northern Italian city of Turin after a fire broke out in a building in the city center. A news agency reported on Friday that some 100 people in the building and surrounding shops were brought to safety. With that news, we come to the end of today's news updates. Stay tuned to BMC News Live for the daily news updates in English every day at 7:30 p.m. Good night.